Alright, so this is my quote unquote best attempt at looking professional, or at least what I know what I'm doing, in Twitch. I'm using OBS and I customized it so hopefully you guys get to see this kind of awesome setup that I'm doing. Um, and I'll look at it later and, hopefully people pop in and see what's going on. I am Riddick. I have many characters on this game. You guys know me from my YouTube. But enough blabbering. I'm just gonna give this a try out today, quote unquote, to talk about some stuff that I've been reading up with and talking with my friends about on Shadowlands. And I am also gonna be working on leveling my hunter at the same time. So it's kind of I'm trying to attempt to make it so it's not just dead air, but I'm also trying to, you know, see how things look and how things work. So I do apologize if I go quiet. I'm a fairly quiet dude unless I'm, laughing or cracking jokes or whatever. So it's a little tough when you're solo because there's like a, excuse me, like a interaction. So you have to kind of think of things yourself, and that's definitely one of the hardest parts about solo streaming or solo recording. Recording, I could go in and add a bunch of funny quips and such like that, but um, and avoiding. See, I'm trying to pick up on trying not to say a lot and stuff like that. You have to create your own adventure, and I've always been a bit more direct and cut and dry, but I do have quite a few plans. Um, I'm planning some things out. I could maybe do more than just gaming, so that way I'm a little more versatile. So we shall see. I've always wanted to do this, and I've always wanted to do something like this. It's repetitive. I've always wanted to, you know, have fun, game, and entertain people. That's what I say on my YouTube is I entertain people, which as you see in the thing, it's under the same thing, so I'm pretty easy to find. It's usually the first thing to come up. I don't think anybody has anywhere name close to me, so you know. I'm going to do a shout out to those who have been following on my YouTube. I'm almost to 100 subscribers. I know that sounds like nothing, but I started out with number 0, and then I was doing some videos. I was trying to make them somewhat regular, but between school and everything else, didn't work. School, work, and everything else I was going all the time is maybe every 2 weeks. And then I think the first true series I had was Red Dead Redemption 2. I was enjoying it, but the videos weren't really getting watched. Then I did some stuff I like doing, like GMVs. So it's the same equivalent of an anime, like a music video or whatever you want to call it. I'm sure you guys are aware of what those are. GMV is basically pertaining to video games. I love doing those. I did that in college. It's just I enjoyed it, but with a lot of the copyright stuff, those are very, very hard to do. So I can't just, I'm not trying to make money. I just wanted to put it on YouTube and have people listen to it. Have some people, even for me, have it play in the background my favorite songs. I have done some DJing, nothing real fancy. I didn't do any mixing or anything like that, but I was putting together sets for people and playing songs. I'm just people liked it. They liked that I would turn on my DJ voice, which I would lower my voice, and I would start talking more like this, which is more relaxed, a little more sultry, a little more professional sounding. People loved it. So that's kind of a little bit of backstory on me if you ever happen to tune into this, and it's there. So, um, as far as for World of Warcraft, I started when I was 12, and it was thanks to my dad's friend. My dad's friend ran me through Wailing Caverns, and I remember it very lucidly. I was on my Warlock. I died a lot. I think I joined right around, what's the BC, I think. Maybe early Wrath, because I didn't see all the pre-patch stuff then. I didn't know what any of all that stuff was back then. So I would get up to the max level. So I got to level 60, and then I went to Best Buy, back when you can actually buy the boxes for the game. Um, and I would buy the expansions, and that was like a big deal for me because I look inside and I get excited about where I'd be going, and I always love the. I'm sorry, I had to get coffee this morning. I swear. Well, it's afternoon now. I needed you know, the level, and I had to make sure I kept my grades up. And this is back when I was in 12, 13, 14, 15, and then forth. I think the last one I physically went in was for Wrath when I got to. So I went from level 1 to 60, or 1 to 50, whatever it was at the time. And then I got Burning Crusade. I leveled Burning Crusade. I think I leveled to 70 or 7. I think it was 69 or 70. Then I went and bought Wrath of the Lich King. Oh, that was. I wish I still had the box somewhere. I think it might be on the garage or something. But that was like the big thing for me. I was so excited for that one. Um, and that was my favorite expansion, and still will be my favorite expansion. So I'm glad Shadowlands, which is what I'm going to be talking about, seems to throw back a nostalgia trip to that type of gameplay time. Like we didn't have 300, well, I only have 37,000, but this is what your health pool would be like at max level. And the bosses only had maybe, if you had a boss with 1,000,000 health, it was like, oh my god. Now it's just like, eh. So I'm excited for that. According to what I've been hearing, I'm sure you guys have all seen this. The 29th, around here-ish, is where it's supposed to drop as the pre-patch, and then Shadowlands comes out October 25th/26th, depending on your region. So if you didn't know that, now you do. You're welcome. Which if you did, you probably were living under a rock, or were not able to see your internet. Let's see, what else here? I'm trying to get things going, starting things out here with this. My main, as I said, for the longest time was my Warlock. I loved my Warlock. I had. I was in high school. I had a 3.5 3.8 GPA, so I was a good student. And what I would do is this is basically my breakdown of Warcraft during my teen years. I would go to school. I did all my sports. I did my football, wrestling, all that stuff. I get home about 7, 8ish, eat something, do my homework, and from 10 to midnight, that was my Warcraft time. I would play from 10 to midnight because I knew I could get up the next day, and that's why I play Warcraft every day of the week for about 2 hours after I got everything done. And then on weekends, when all my tournaments are done, I would get on Sunday and I would play like all day on Sunday. And that was just how I did it. If I didn't have something to do, or especially I loved it this time of year, for some reason, I think because I had my most memories of during the holiday seasons and such. So the the Christmas, the Halloween one, I just loved it. And that's back when I was on, mind you, I was playing on a 2000 something Toshiba laptop because I wanted to play Warcraft and we didn't have any computers that can handle it at the time. So I was playing Toshiba laptop, and it worked. That thing was durable. And then I think I was 16 or 17 when I got my first computer built, which I still have over to my right here, still going strong. I've just upgraded the inside. And I was like, oh my god, this game looks so much different. I didn't see. I was like people that have to use a potato computer. That's what I was playing with all a long time, and I was raiding with that. I was doing dungeons with it. You know, that's what I did. But once I got the better computer, I was doing better at raiding. I started leading raids at 16 or 15, 16 or 17, somewhere in that gap. I knew it was around Wrath of the King. I was leading raids at that age, and we were doing really well. Made some friends. I'm still friends with them today, and they're still playing with me. So if I'm streaming and they're there, you know, you'll hear some of them that I've been friends with forever. A couple of them I grew up with. They were like, next town over from me, and it was kind of cool that I met them on Warcraft. Um, so I'm hoping to go branch in now that my kind of the backstory. I'm kind of like switching back and forth here just to keep things somewhat interesting while I'm killing stuff and getting these quests done. I'm hoping that it reignites some of that want to like play together again. Like it's gonna bring back people like me and my other friends that are well, we're still playing now because of this. That brought us back to it, but other people will. So like my brother, my dad, and my brother, we all played together. That was like our thing. So my dad heard about it from his friend, and of course they it was online games. So we waited till I was 12, like I said, and that's where me, my dad, and my brother would play together. We quested together, we dungeoned together. Um, and I tried to get them into the rating, but at the time it was about gear score. I don't know if some of you have no idea what that is, and some of you are like, oh my god, I hate that. Gear score, DKP, all that stuff was a factor back then, and it was hard. Like there was, and I I don't think I actually physically got into a guild till I was about 16ish, I think, actively. Um, and one of the major guilds I was in at the time I think it was, I'm still on Coriolis, which I know, haha, laugh it up, oldest server in the game, but now with all the merges, pre-Shadowlands, it's kind of a different story. It's way more active. I kind of liked it when it was quiet because you didn't have everybody taking your nodes, but at the same time, there's also a lot more people. You can recruit more people for your guild, you can make more friends, you have more people that can help you or explain things to you, so it's pros and cons. And going back to the first guild I was in, it was Wrecked. Wrecked. I kid you not. If you know who they are, you're probably gasping or going, what the hell, or, they're this. This is back when they were on Coriolis, and we did Lich King. So that was my big experience for there. And unfortunately, I got kicked for low DPS and missed the Lich King kill. But that's just one of those things I'm always going to remember because it was such a big deal for me back then. That was the thing. I just had school and sports. I didn't really have a true like hobby or anything back then. I wasn't really. I collected hockey, the McFarlane hockey action figures that have the ice under them and the puck, and they really look really real. Like that's what I was doing, but I didn't. I wasn't like doing like I have a film degree, I have a bachelor's in film. I didn't have any of that. I didn't, you know, I was playing Warcraft and Command and Conquer, and I was really really good at Command and Conquer before it got popular as an esport that like the RTS and all that. So I've kind of been around the bend in terms of intense, competitive, and everything else. The kind of, and I kind of found what I enjoy. I always say I love competitive, like a challenge, but I don't love a headache. Give me something that makes me want to go, oh, I'm going to do that again, or I'm almost got it. We got this, and I love working as a team. I cannot play Warcraft solo. I just can't. I have to be in a guild or with a team or have people I play with because that's just how I am. Every other MMO I've played, I've always had to be in some form of community or guild or something. That's just how I am. And I always like this is my guild I made. The Presso Liber is the Green Beret motto. No, we don't have any military affiliation. It's just sounded cool. If anything, it's a respect thing, but it just really cool. Anyways, I've made several guilds that have flopped. I've made guilds that were doing really good. Like I had a guild that was doing really really well, but I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to college and this is a big deal. I'm going to be full time. I'm not going to have any time, and it just kind of faded out. It wasn't a big deal. They're like, okay, no big deal. Glad you got into school, and that was it. I had two buddies. I only remember their the player name of one, and the other guy's name was Scott. So if either of you guys, Buzzrick was my other buddy's name at the time. I would tease him that he was Buzz Lightyear all the time. I believe this was when I was in Amorta. I think it was Omerta. Omerta or Hex, one of the other big guilds. They had an older guild master named Shumala. They were really good people. You know, we had good. This was probably the pinnacle of like this is a good team, and they weren't assholes. Like if we didn't get it, we didn't get it. Like I just love these guys. And something happened with the guildmaster, and then so my buddy Scott and Buzz, we wanted to go make another guild, but I'm like, hey guys, I'm literally going to college next month. Like I can't, you know, I'm just gonna stay on this server, and I'll chat with you guys. And then they went to a high-end server. I think it was Area 52, or like Illidan or one of those, and they did their thing, and then they stopped playing. So shout out to those guys. You guys are a lot of help because you guys help me play my class and stuff. Now, I know I keep saying I'm going to go to Shadowlands, and I keep diverging and telling my Warcraft story, but story time. I think I'm going to Maine, talking to my friends, talking to others, reading things, seeing what's being posted. At least at the moment, I want to play Monk Tank and or Pally Tank, and definitely Pally Heal for one. Just because I was really good in Pally Heal and Cataclysm. I like the way it is. It's simple. You can be in the middle of things, being afraid of things. You have a high survivability. Monk is just enjoyable for me because of the AoE. I don't have to do too much. It's yes, you have to manage, know what you're doing, but I'm always good with that stuff. But I'm not sitting there spamming buttons like I had to do because I mained Warrior this expansion. And some of you are going, oh my god, how did you do that? And some of you are going, oh my god, you noob, I'm sure. But I did it, and I got him up to like 470. And I came back to this game after not playing because I came back originally for Classic, mind you. I came back to play with a friend on Classic. We got to about level 25 and said, oh, okay, this is rough. This is fun, but this is rough. So we did that, and then I said, you know what, let's try to get into retail again, let's see what happens. And I came back on Black Friday. My train of thought's going. I feel like an old man. I came back on Black Friday, and I was just grinding out. I was like, Warrior. I had a level 90 Warrior, got him to 120, and 120 took about a month or two because I was in an anatomy class that took up a lot of my time. Got him to 120, got all my gear, got him ready. I had no idea what a mythic dungeon was. My knowledge of Warcraft was dungeon normal, dungeon heroic, normal raid, and heroic raid. And if you did a heroic raid, you were like the shit. I had no idea they added mythic, which is like really, really high end stuff. So I'm like, oh, great, mythic dungeons. And I got my ass kicked. And I kept going at it, kept trying to figure it out. And still to this day, once they added the obelisks, there are some dungeons that I just like, boom, I knew where to go. I knew how to kite them and do them. And then there was another one that just was like, oh, screw this. So I hope they kind of figure something out with Shadowlands. Apparently, there's going to be in Shadowlands a mini boss type of thing that spawns, which is fine because all you have to do is DPS them down. Otherwise, you go kaboom. I like trying to get through those and quote unquote time them is the coin term. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's why I'm so excited. I don't think I've been this excited for expansion, except for Wrath of the King, which I do have the collector's edition of Cataclysm. That was the one thing I wanted one year for Christmas, and I got it, and I was super happy. And Cataclysm was kind of to me. I didn't. It kind of ruined some of my memories, but I'm glad that they did like the whole time frame thing, so you can go back, or in classics, you can kind of go back and relive that if you really wanted to. So I want to, but I'm so excited because I can start an expansion fresh, like I did. Like I don't think I ever started fresh when I even originally started Warcraft. So this will be my first true expansion I will be on to start on day one. So I'm super stoked for that. I know it sounds dumb coming from a grown ass man, but you know what? I'm a gamer. And this game has a lot of nostalgia to me. It's a lot of my childhood, my teen years, a lot of good memories. Of course, there's bad, but who gives a crap about the bad? Um, but there was more. Like, there's this things I just remember. Like I said, I remember I was level 21, and my dad's friend was like 67 or something, and he took his druid and ran me through Wailing Caverns. Like, that was. See, I was 12 or 13, so 13-ish years ago, and I remember it verbatim. So there you go. That's a kind of a big deal when you remember something that far away on a video game. That's how much of an impact it had on me. So yeah, that's there you go. I do hope I get to like see how this works. I hope that maybe somebody pops in and sees it, or I can go back and see how it looked. Um, but I'm excited for this because I mean I've never dreamed, like I tried OBS years ago and it was difficult. Now it's like, holy crap, I can do all this now. I could put green flames on it and have separate boxes and make it look really appealing and nice and professional looking. I've always I hated. I would lay down and I would like, you know, and now for like Shadowlands, maybe I could change it up, or um, I'll get to like showcase my journey through Shadowlands. Like when I play my character, I'll turn the stream on and show you guys and talk like, yeah, I'm now leveling through Shadowlands. Like that's got me stoked. But it's a month away still. So I have to be patient. But I can't wait. Once that comes out though, I'm gonna get it. I don't like pre-ordering. I know what people say about that. I just I'd rather get something the day of or maybe the day before, um, just so that I have it ready to go. But I don't like getting it pre-ordered because it's not a guarantee. Even though they have a release date, that's just how I am. So I'll get it on the 25th or 26th whenever it comes available, and I will dive right into it. I'm going to make it an effort to at least, my goal is at least once a week, if I can. If not, bi-weekly. Just streaming, playing my characters, you know, and then progressing with it. And my friends are already cool with me streaming. They're excited about that too. They think it's cool that I was able to figure all this out. Um, and I've got a good bunch of them. I think I got about 10 or so now that we all kind of play together. We all got different time zones, but we kind of figured out a time frame where we all get on and we'll chat. So that'd be during the week, or it might be I might do it multiple times during the week just because they're on multiple times of the week. Or like the weekends is like our big play together day. It sounds just like everybody else, but that's how it is. We get on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday or something, and play till 2 in the morning, and that's that. So, um, oh, oops, I forgot it. I was too busy thinking about what to talk. I forgot I was on my hunter and not my warrior. My warrior like kills that guy in like 2 seconds. Thank you, Wanzamdi. Oopsie. I forgot that was a very powerful boss. Something that a 112 cannot handle. Your pet is not dead. Oops, I need to adjust this. You go over here. Boop, there we go. So yeah, that's for as far as the covenants go for Shadowlands, we're all kind of like debating on just waiting or waiting till we get to max level, so that way um, we can be like, okay, we got this class and this class. But I've been told by my friends that if you say I want my monk tank to get the tanking thing, I do that. If I wanted to do the DPS or heal spec, I'd have to make another one and then pick it. But thankfully, it's supposedly going to be alt friendly. I'm trying to find guys. Did I kill them all already? I'm trying to find more of these dudes, and they're not here. They make it more alt friendly because leveling from 1 to 60 or 10 to 60, that is a much shorter road than 1 to 120, even with the buff. Say what you will, that's my opinion, because I've leveled so many characters. The reason why I leveled so many in Wrath and Kata is because 80 and 85 weren't a big thing for me. I was so used to leveling. I had it down to a system. I knew where to go. So I'm hoping Shadowlands has something like that where you can like go, okay, this guy has this. I want him to go here and here and here, and then boom, you have them. So that way you get right to the game in Shadowlands. So that way it's not, oh, I got to go through this again, or oh, like that just phases me out. Um, what was I say? So say I wanted to level my monk first, right? He's 120, so he's gonna be 50. Get him up there, and I'll go, okay, let me do my pally next. And my pally, I want him to focus as a tank, so I can get through the leveling process. If I wanted those guys to be different, I would have to make it alt of the same class. So there is a little more versatility for you to focus solely, because let me tell you, I dual spec'd on my warrior. Dual specking prod is main, fury off spec. It was difficult because some of the stats overlap, but then if you have too much of one or too little of one, then you're screwed. So you'd have to go farm some of the same dungeons to get the same stat. Say haste and crit. So like as prot, I need a lot of haste, and as fury, you need a lot of crit. And versatility was beneficial to both. So you were trying to find something that always had versatility on it. Well, that wasn't always the case, and some of these higher keys is just like, ugh, I hope they get rid of some of this more aggravating affixes, or they make it on a rare turn, or I may just choose, like, tell my friends, hey guys, this is a crappy affix this week, let's do some PvP, or let's level our alts together or something, because it's a new expansion, so that's going to be much easier to do. And if you want to get good on the PvP scene, you got to do it early. If you want to get ahead of the game with classes, you got to get on that early too. Because first couple weeks, everybody's still going to be, even with, man, yeah, note to self, have coffee ready for streaming. But hey, I guess it's because I'm talking a lot too. So, like I said, I'm usually pretty quiet unless I'm cracking jokes or making stuff like that. I'm usually focused especially when I'm doing this type of stuff. I turn on music, zone out. That's just what I did. It's just how I always did it. Okay. I'm going to go this way. And then I got to go do... let's see. That's right. I got to go find the tunnel here. Secret tunnel. Dangerous indeed. And I drop down in here. Fight this dude. This is so creepy to me. Like she's, ugh, it's just, ugh, makes me itchy. Like, she takes this power of the spider. Like, it just, that's, no thank you. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's why I would wish I had the, that soundboard. I was actually debating on buying one, but like, you know what? I'm going to wait till it's more, if I do get some sort of, what's that called? Following, some sort of group. Ah, damn it. And that's why I say that this is mature content. And because, swear words will happen. Guarantee it. Cover the kitty's ears. Ye of faint heart shall not enter. You were not prepared. Okay, I know that was cheesy, but alright, I go over here. And then I go to these. I like Gonk. Gonk is cool. Me like gunk. Spear, longbow. Alright, and then I go. Was it the war campaign? I can't remember. Some of those quests were kind of. So let me go do these first, and then I'll do the other. Paku is haste, I think. Yeah. Case increased by 5, movement speed increased by 25 seconds when it wins Paku happens. Okay. Which is weird because when you do it the other way, it's crit as a Zandalari troll. So I don't know why they did that. Happy Brutosaur getting his num-nums. So yeah, I mean, I I can't say it enough. I'm excited for Shadowlands. Um, this is kind of a test stream, so if you stumble upon it and you like what you're seeing, let me know. You know, send me a message or like it or anything like that. To those that are the 7 followers I have on Twitch, from mind you, 5 years ago was the last time I did anything on Twitch. 5, 5. So I'm doing something right on my YouTube and my Twitch, and I think if it archives, I think I can even post these to YouTube as well. So I stream it here, and then I repost it to YouTube as like it's been streamed. So that would be kind of cool. I'd have to look into that. So again, tips. I think I say that my stuff. Tips, suggestions. Whether it's Warcraft related, Twitch related. Um, you got some life advice. I'm totally fine with that. So I keep glancing over at the chat too. So I always check that and see, because I've got my main monitor here, my 4K Samsung, and then over on my side I got my, my regular 1920 by 1080, 30 FPS, solid Acer, just gets the job done, and that's got all my broadcasting and information on the side. So it's very nice. That's why I've always wanted a two multi-monitor setup, like 2 or 3 monitor setup, because of that reason. I know a lot of people have already blabbled about more about Shadowlands, but I'm curious about what people are thinking and with the 25% buff for the Covenants, because that is a huge, 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 huge DPS buff. 25% base. Base. So if I'm doing 10,000 damage, for example, 25% of that is a quarter of that. So I would be doing an additional 2,500 damage on a scale. So if the highest damage is 1,000, 25% of that would be 250. That's quite a bit of damage in the terms of when you're in the thousands, because when DPS is in the hundreds of thousands, a couple thousand is a big deal. When DPS is in the thousands, a couple hundred is a big deal. See what I'm saying? So, I'm curious because I know that's going to get nerfed to absolute, like maybe like a 5%. I could see, or a 2%, something that's more manageable, like more of like a racial buff. But 25 freaking percent, that's not right. So, something's going to get messed up. That's for sure. All right. So I'm looking at my time. I'm just over 30. By the time I'm finished here, I might be close to 114. I might try to go for 115 and pause it there, just so I can maybe do another one of these and see how they do. But we'll see in terms of time and me figuring out things to talk about too. So, it's not like I'm playing a shooter or something where I'm like concentrating and having to worry about something. So, and yes, my character is called Grinmore because he's undead, he's got the jaw, and he's grinning. And if you guys do stumble upon this, let me know what you are planning to play for Shadowlands. What is your class? Is it something you wanted to? Is it something you didn't expect? Like I I legitimately went and boosted my monk because one of my friends like the monk is the shit. It's so easy to tank with, and it is. I, I attack. I do my AOE. I do rushing Jade wins. Sorry about that. Ears warning. I'm usually pretty good with that. And a couple of other traits that they told me about. And I'm like, this is so much easier to keep aggro than my warrior, because my warrior I'd have to rush in on Vexaronic. Vexaronic. Vexaronic sounds like an 80s song. Vexonia Heroic on Nyalotha. And as a warrior, if you have DPS that are doing 200k DPS as a demon hunter, that's kind of hard to keep aggro on them. You got to go in, spam Thunderclap, and stun them, and that's about all you got. And if they keep pulling off of you, then you're screwed. So, whereas this, I actually have an AoE that I just run in with it, and it pulls aggro near effortlessly. I mean, I just hit it, and I don't even have to worry about it. So, that's nice. That's a good thing. So I mean, they said warriors are kind of but I still have it just because I like Fury. I like arms. I love DPSing on warrior. It's fun in PvP as well. But I have, as of right now, ready for Shadowlands. I have, this guy will be next on the list once it gets there. I have a warrior, a shaman, a paladin, a demon hunter, a death knight, a warlock, and a mage. I think I listed them all. It's like 7 or 8 characters. So I'm very versatile. I like being versatile. I like having classes just because I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but I figured this out on my own. Blizzard's intervals are 2 weeks, 1 month, and 3 months. Whether it's a patch, whether it's some, new content or a hot fix. Hot fixes are usually the 2 week mark. A micro patch or something like that is usually at the month, and then like a big content update is usually 3, 4, 5 months out. That may have changed over the years, but that has always been the pattern, and I picked that up around the holiday time because that's when it's most busy. That's when you get their most subscriptions. People resub because they're home or they're away, whatever, and they want to get back into it for a little while, and they get some subscription, so they ramp stuff out around that time. Thus, why Shadowlands is coming out October 26th, right before, everything. And I'm sure they'll have like a discount on BFA. It'll be like, 40% off BFA and get people into BFA and then get them to buy Shadowlands afterwards. That's just how they do it. It works, gets people back. Say which will, I gotta commend them for that. They have a system, and they figured it out. So keep an eye out. I always keep an eye out around that time. They also have sales on like the physical store stuff. So they'll have sales on. So say you're not ready for Shadowlands. You're like, I don't know. Let me give it some time for Shadowlands. Let me see if it's just a big hype train or if it's actually gonna be good. So you wait, and November, December comes around. You put aside a little bit of money for it, and it's 40% off, 20% off, 30% off. You're like, okay, let me just try it for a month. They know people do that. So if you're in that boat, then wait, by all means. I am just stoked for this expansion because, like I said, this is my first real expansion I will be around for to start on day one. And that really is kind of a big deal to me, as dumb as it sounds, because, like I said, nostalgia, my childhood, this game, and to a lot of other people, is some way or another helped them or been a part of their life in one way or another. And because of so many games I wanted to play in the summer, like New World, Cyberpunk, what was the other one? Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Those all got pushed back. So guess what? I have one game to focus on, and it's this one. So I'm not going to be. That's usually what throws me off from it too. Is I'll get bored, or a new game will come out and I'll enjoy it, and then I totally forget about this game. Good news is I can always come back and have a lot of characters. So it'll be definitely interesting to see. I personally think it's going to be for those that joined relatively late into the game, back when it was like in Legion, or WoD or something, when it was really like they're a younger populace, maybe they're in their 20s or something, but they're like really really good at the game. I think it'll be interesting to see without all the corruption stuff and all the like the stat bonuses, and you kind of dial everything back to where maybe veterans like me or older players that are got their families of their own and stuff now and are playing it or coming back to it for nostalgia, if they're gonna succeed in Shadowlands, just because it's kind of, like I said, dialing it back to, and seems to be at least, an older style while still keeping the newer crowds like progressive difficulty in the mythics and all that, if that makes sense. So we will see. One moment, I'm going to take a drink. Okay, so that's like another thing I was going to practice too. Is like earlier I had a cough, I couldn't stop in time. Um, that's what they suggest. Is if you got to do it, just try to hit your mute button, or if you got to take a drink, so that way people don't, hear it. It's a little more night professional and easier on people's ears. So I'm gonna try. This is what this is practicing that as well. So, you know, I'm just, oh man, I'm like giddy right now because I want to talk about what I want to do, but at the same time, I don't want to divulge too much either because I want it to kind of be a surprise. Well, not a surprise, but just to make me unique. So I gotta like plan it out. So I have to figure out. So today is Sunday, and I'm streaming this. I was debating on maybe doing these on Sundays because that's kind of an off day. Everybody's usually at home or is kind of chilling at their computer or they're sleeping in. And I could start it around this time. I could start at noon or something. And when everybody's up, and it's have a good time. And then I was thinking also the other things I could do during the week or something, or at the end of the week. So I have to figure that out. But I'm really gonna try to get in on this, and not make it my life or anything like that. But I want to make it to the best that I can with what I got, and see how it goes. So that's all that. um, I haven't heard anything about hunters in Shadowlands. I don't think they're going to be too drastically changed. So if you're a hunter main, if you've been following it, maybe you should rejoice. Or if there's something that you should know, let me know. So it's gonna be interesting. All right. I think what I'm gonna do, because I'm kind of rambling at this point, and I'm almost hitting 45 minutes live, is I'm gonna finish up this quest, and then I will stop there. Say my outro and all that. Thank you guys and everything, and then see how it looks. See if I can go back and do what I need to. So we shall see. If you did tune in, or if you did, happen to, you know, stop by or watch it, or just anything, even if it's for a second, thank you. I must say thank you. I really appreciate that. I did something right to pique your interest. And if you aren't a Twitch person and you stumbled upon this, but you want to watch my stuff on YouTube, I do have quite a few videos up there. They're nothing recent, but I'm hoping, like I said, if I can get this streamed here and then just take the file and stick it on YouTube, that would create me a lot more social media variety, because these are the two things that I use. These are two most used. And then I'm looking into some other side endeavors as well regarding like social media or a app or something like that. See how that all works. So that is the grand scheme of plans. And um, what else? See here, Die Master Crap. Money. This is what happens. That's why I'm saying I need to, like, if you want to be like in my streams and you want to team up with me, um, I'm all for it. I have no problem with that. If I have someone else or a group of people to talk to, that makes it that much easier because you can make comments, you can make your jokes, and it creates interesting content. You screw up, somebody messes up, you laugh, or someone says something funny. That makes it a whole lot easier to be entertaining. By yourself, it's literally like it's you're talking to a wall. I'm checking over, I'm looking around, I'm double checking what I say. It's kind of a ordeal. So, okay, I am almost 114. I was gonna say I go 115, but like I said, it's pushing just over 45 minutes now. This was a test stream. I did my best to talk for those whole 45 minutes, and that's why my throat is going wider. um, if you did tune in again, thank you. If you happen to stumble upon this, thank you for watching. I hope to do this at least once a week, maybe twice, if not at least bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks. I'll get a system figured out. Now is my time through this week to get a system figured out of what works best for me, so that way I can get out entertainment without messing with my life outside, playing a game or doing whatever, right? I am Riddick, Kaze, whatever you want. Riddick is my YouTube, is my Twitch, whatever. Kaze is like my main character. So, but I prefer Riddick. It's just I respond to it easier. So, thank you so much again, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream now, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.